Hello, my dear students. My name is Sriram. I am senior physics faculty in Sri Vasishta Educational Academy. Today we will discuss a few tips regarding the NEET physics exam. In this exam, actually, the time is only 48 hours plus only. How to study in these 2 days? What are the important things to do? I will briefly explain. మనకి ఫిజిక్స్ పేపర్ తీసుకుంటే జనరల్గా దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ టాపిక్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ మోర్ వెయిటేజ్ అండ్ లెస్ డెప్త్. ఫస్ట్ వాటి గురించి డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. మీరు ఫస్ట్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్లో సెమీ కండక్టింగ్ డివైజెస్, లాజిక్ గేట్స్ రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి. అందులో పిఎన్ జంక్షను, డిఫ్యూజన్ కరెంటు, డ్రిఫ్ట్ కరెంటు, అండ్ ఆల్సో అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ పిఎన్ జంక్షన్ యాజ్ డయోడ్ ఫర్ జినార్ డయోడ్, solar cell, LED, photodiode, and their graphs. Briefly, you go through them. And afterwards, you also refer logic gates, various logic gates, basic and universal logic gates, and De Morgan's laws applied to the logic gates. Next comes the alternating current circuits. AC circuits also very small chapter. Most probably one question will definitely come. In this, go through LCR circuits, what are peak currents, RMS currents, and also impedance, etc. And resonance, bandwidth, quality factor, these concepts also briefly revise. And after this, you revise electromagnetic waves. This is also a small chapter which has very good weightage. From this, you would go through displacement current in a capacitor. Almost every year they are touching this topic. And also finding the direction of either electric field or magnetic field when one is given, the other one to find. If an equation for electric field is given, you have to find equation for magnetic field and vice versa. That is also a very easy thing to do. You refer to that also. And then what you have to do is go through the wave optics. Wave optics is also a very small topic with almost around 10 formulae, but weightage is you will get at least 2 to 3 questions from it. 2 questions minimum income. In this interference intensity formula, resultant intensity formula, go through it, and also Young's double slit experiment related formulae. And then in diffraction, just to refer the angular spread and linear spread of the central maxima. Just to go through that. In polarization, you just refer Brewster's law and Malus law and applications of them to do small problems. So in this small area, you will get to at least 2 questions. Next comes ray optics. In ray optics, you only refer to lens maker's formula, prism, refraction through a prism, and optical instruments. You confine to these things. Next to static electricity and current electricity. In static electricity, you go through Gauss law and examples based on Gauss law. It is a very easy topic. And afterwards, electric dipole. Electric dipole, almost every year they are touching. NTA is giving one question from electric dipole. And when you are studying electric dipole, you also refer to magnetic dipole also because they are similar in derivations and formulae. They are similar. So you refer to magnetic dipole also when you are studying electric dipole. And after that, current electricity, you have to definitely revise because it is having more weightage. In 2025, they have given 3 questions from current electricity. So in this chapter, you go through drift current and also drift velocity and mobility of charge carriers and also current density, etc. Basic concepts are there. In these concepts you revise once, and afterwards resistance, resistivity, conductance, conductivity, and related formulae, and basic circuits in parallel and series. Afterwards, Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge, and then you refer to magnetism, particularly Biot-Savart's law and Ampere's law and their applications to find simple formulae relating to magnetic field. For an infinite conductor, for a circular coil, for a solenoid, expressions for magnetic field also you find. And afterwards, moving coil galvanometer is also one of the important topics in this area. Moving coil galvanometer, its principle, and how it is converted into ammeter and voltmeter. That is another important area. After this, you go through the electromagnetic induction. In this, Lenz's law for direction and Faraday's law for magnitude of induced EMF. You refer to these relations and do a few problems. And afterwards, you go through self-inductance, mutual inductance, related problems. Once you complete these things, almost we come to the end of second year. Now go through the first year. In first year, important topics are mechanics, properties of solids and liquids, and thermodynamics, heat and thermodynamics. In mechanics, what you have to do is in units and dimensions, errors and measurements, and also screw gauge, vernier calipers. These topics you revise briefly and do a few problems because these are all important. At least two questions are expected in this area. And afterwards, you go through kinematics standard relations. For plane motion and also Newton's laws of motion, you revise only to a limited extent because the depth is very large. You cannot waste time on that. Next comes work power energy. In work power energy, you go through work energy theorem and also law of conservation of mechanical energy and power related problems. You refer to these things. And then conservative forces, non-conservative forces, work done by conservative forces, etc. Briefly, you go through them. Next, simple harmonic motion and gravitation. These are the chapters. Every year they are giving problems. So you go through the simple harmonic motion, basic relations, and also basic relations in gravitation, acceleration due to gravity, variation with height, with the depth, etc. And also gravitational potential, gravitational field. These concepts also you revise briefly. And then regarding properties of solids and liquids, mainly you concentrate on elasticity relations and also surface tension, viscosity. One more thing is Bernoulli's law is also touched frequently in this exam. Bernoulli's law applicable to Venturi meter and also velocity of reflex, etc. Equation of continuity. These things comes under this concept. Next, when we come to heat and thermodynamics, briefly go through expansion laws, expansion of solids, liquids, very briefly. Then you come to thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is very important. You can expect one bit from this very easily. So in this first law of thermodynamics, you have to go through the various process in which this law is applied: isobaric process, isochoric process, adiabatic process, and also isothermal process and polytropic process. In these various processes, how the ideal gas equation is applied, also you have to go through. Next, kinetic theory of gases. In this also, content is brief, but almost one question will come from this area. RMS velocity, most probable velocity, average velocity, etc. And also internal energy of a molecule, internal energy of total internal energy of a gas. There is difference in that. You go through that. And also next last chapter is heat transfer. Heat transfer by conduction, convection, radiation. Heat transfer by conduction, you refer to the Fourier's law of conduction, and also when two conductors are connected in series, parallel, how is the effective thermal conductivity results come. That is one thing. And another thing is radiation. In radiation, Stephen's law is very important, and then Wien's law of displacement. These are the things which are important. We go through them because they are very small. in formulae, very few formulae are there in these chapters, radiation and conduction. You go through the formulae and a few problems in this. With this, you can complete the first and second year syllabus. Basically, for physics exam, you have to attempt the paper in 2 rounds. In first round, you go through the easier questions. Don't stuck at any large question or big lengthy questions, etc. Because easy question or tough question both carry same marks, 4 marks only. So once you answer small questions or very easy questions for you, you will have confidence because some marks are already in your pocket. Next, in second round, you go through the problems which are stuck in the first round. But don't waste time in the first round itself anywhere for any problem. Because in any year, even 2025 also, at least 20 to 25 questions are average questions. Even normal students also can score 15 to 20. Once they score that, they can attempt the other questions by spending more time if it is available after doing the other papers. So you follow this strategy. And one more thing you remember, mindset on the day of the exam counts a lot. Same preparation, same standard students will get different marks because of their mindset on that day. You should not get panic while writing the exam. Suppose in physics, if you come across a very tough question in physics, if you feel it is very tough question, don't get shocked. What you have to do is take deep breath for 5 to 10 seconds and then leave it, go to the other questions, etc. You have to come to the cool composer as early as possible, then it will help us. Remember that for students of same caliber, same study mindset on that day definitely counts. Okay, students, best of luck for this exam for you. Thank you.